Mr. Chaliha. No, Mr. Chaliha, sure you can answer. But the bottom line, can I just add one thing to you? No, one second. I will give you full time to answer, but I want to just make a fundamental point. Sir, today, the separatist insurgency, the terrorism in Kashmir is a relatively recent phenomenon compared to what is going on in the northeast of India. Kashmir's problem starts in the late 80s. In Assam, Alpha has been on since 1979. The NDFB was formed in 1989 and now it is still a potent force. There is a Karbi Anglong Hills Federation which is active since 2003-2004. What Sheshadri Chari is asking you is a... one second, sir. Why do you, if these people are... So one second, Mr. Chaliha, one minute. Mr. Chaliha, 1 minute. After that you can answer. I'm saying if these people are so small, so insignificant, just 100 or 200 people, why don't you finish them off? I don't believe today that any terrorist group can exist without political support. I'm saying it. Without political support, these groups cannot exist.
Listen. Now, Arnab, without going into the details about the insurgency, history of insurgency in Northeast, I have fought Ulfa, I have lost my general secretaries, I have faced bullets, I have faced so much of opposition from Ulfa. We fought them on the ground. We are not speaking only on television, national televisions. But let me tell you, I am not talking about insurgency as a whole. Arnab, you remember, all the time these massacres have been taking place for the last 5 or 6 years. We have identified NDFBS as a prime killer. I am now into only this particular incident. 200 people. Do you mean to say that the Indian state machinery or the state machinery is so weak that you can't finish off 200 terrorists?
No, Sheshadri Chari says you don't want to.
I'm not against the voice.
Sheshadri Chari says you don't want to.
One second.
Not that you can't. He says you don't want to.
1 second. Let me tell you, NDFBS has supported the BJP candidate in the last election against me. And
answer the charge. Answer the charge. Sheshadri Chari, he's now put it back at you. Now please answer him. He says the NDFBS, this particular terrorist group, has backed a BJP candidate against him. This is a very serious charge. Mr. Chari, you must answer this. You must answer this charge that Kirip Chaliha has now thrown directly at you. Mr. Sheshadri Chari.
I strongly refute it. This is an irresponsible statement. And there are two factions. One faction is called pro-tox faction and one faction is called the anti-tox faction. ATF and PTF. And both these ATF and PTF, all these factions have always held the BJP as enemy number one. Let me remind you this. They have strong linkages with local political parties. They don't have linkages with national party like the BJP. They have been festering on the divisions that exist between the state government and the political parties in those state governments. And I know the details of what is happening in Assam. If the Assam government and the Congress party in Assam does not stop this infighting among them, the consequences could be much more serious.
Okay, now I'd like to get in Zarir Hussain and Samujjal Bhattacharya. Zarir Hussain, Gaurav Gogoi wants to say something before that. Gaurav Gogoi, after that, Gaurav Gogoi first and then Zarir Hussain. Yes, Gaurav.
Arnab, what Mr. Chari conveniently avoided is the article in a national newspaper, the Telegraph, which linked that a BJP party member in the Sonitpur district, in this very same district where this incident has taken place, has openly declared that he received the support of the NDFS faction. Will Mr. Chari respond to that?
Mr. Chari, for a second time on the Newshour tonight, the Congress leaders are accusing you of having links, your party of having links with these same terrorists who carried out the massacre.
It is wrong. It is wrong.
Prove the charge.
100% wrong.
Prove the charge, Gaurav.
Tell it to the people of Assam. Tell it to the people of Assam.
I can prove the charge. Yes.
And I'll refrain from saying it.
I can prove the charge. You first bring the papers. You get the candidate.
It is in the Telegraph.
I know about Assam much more than what you know about it. You don't have to believe Telegraph. Telegraph is not the gospel word as far as I am concerned. Telegraph is not the gospel word as far as I am concerned. I am telling you about my party.
Give you something in writing. Terrorists.
I am telling you about my party. I know it.
You.
Well, you know, gentlemen.
You are justifying blindly.
I know about my party.
Gentlemen, you know what I find very disturbing about this.
What you are
Mr.
saying
Chari,
is
Mr.
wrong.
Chari, may I please? You see, Mr. Chari, you see what are we talking about tonight, Zarir? When we began the program, Zarir Hussain gave a, what I must say, a very, very descriptive, honest, and you know, a very insightful account of what has happened in Assam. Now, we find ourselves in a situation where I'm forced to ask a question today, Zarir. If today there were proven or unproven or suspected links between any political party and any terrorist group in Kashmir, would the people of the country be quiet? No. Yet today in Assam, people openly talk about these things. Is it true that political parties have these links? And is politics basically the reason why this problem is festering in Assam? Zarir.
Absolutely. Like, I was hearing Kirip Chaliha, Gaurav Gogoi and the BJP gentlemen, trying to it is like the pot calling the kettle black, It's absolutely all the political parties, be it BJP, Congress, and be it any other parties, they at one point or the other, they have taken the support of either the Alpha or the NDFB, because all these leaders have gone on record on television shows that yes, on such and such year we supported this party, and such and such assembly election we supported that party.
How many political leaders have been investigated for that, Zarir?
Also at some absolutely nothing. And the most interesting part is that, somebody was talking about dismissing the government. Kirip Chaliha I'd like to remind Kirip Chaliha or Gaurav Gogoi that in 1990, when the AGP was in power, AGP government first time, later part of their tenure, 7 or 8 T executives were kidnapped, and that very day, President's rule was imposed.
Yes.
Right? It was not a large-scale massacre like today. So, let me remind you, gentlemen, that things have taken place in Assam when the Congress regime had imposed President's rule. No, see, it's not finished. That is why I'm telling you, which party ruled the center for so long? Your party was at the center for so long. Were you able to formulate any counter-insurgency strategies, as Gaurav Gogoi was referring to? Who had stopped you? Who had stopped you, Kirip Chaliha? Who had stopped you, Gaurav Gogoi? All these years, counter-insurgency strategies. We don't want drawing board kind of strategies. It is all about political will. As long as political parties are hand in glove or in nexus with militant groups, this kind of mayhem will continue in Assam.
And
Nobody can stop it.
I request Sheshadri Chari.
How many columns of paramilitary, how many battalions of paramilitary forces you deploy? This will continue. This will continue as long as...
No, one second.
Ask me a question. He referred my name. You must allow me to respond.
No, I will allow you to answer, but I first want to ask Sheshadri Chari, please note down something, Sheshadri Chari. A BJP leader in the Sonitpur district of Assam, April 1st, 2014, in the run-up to the general election, stirs a hornet nest, I'm reading from the Telegraph, by claiming that the NDFB, Songbit and the Doimari factions have pledged support to him in the forthcoming general elections. This was put out in a news channel, and the two groups said they were dissatisfied with the Congress and had decided to support the BJP. In other words, terrorist groups are deciding who's going to win and who's going to lose an election. You should also be worried that they were dissatisfied with you. In other words, one second. In other words, terrorist groups...
I know.
Do you know of this incident?
I know about this.
Will you sack this?
I know about this. The fact is, these terrorist groups have issued a statement. This statement was issued by terrorist groups. It has been wrongly reported. I am privy to that news. I can tell you this. Any terrorist group can take a decision that they are...
But this is a BJP leader. A BJP leader quoted called Bhavadev Goswami. From Jamuni Ghat in Sonitpur. This is a BJP leader who was quoted.
No.
Let there be an inquiry.
It has been denied.
Denied by whom?
This has been denied.
Commission to inquire.
This has been denied.
political party, the Sanbijit group supported in the
This has been denied by the BJP.
Who do we trust?
How do you
No,
trust the
I am
BJP
aware of
deny?
this incident. This has been denied by the BJP.
Gentlemen.
Who should we trust?
Gentlemen, and Gaurav Gogoi, the reason I put out the pictures from Golaghat sometime back, you need to ask yourself a question.
Don't tell me about the media, please. Don't tell me about the independence of the media. Don't teach me all these things on journalism.
That's all right, Mr. Chari. You don't have to start abusing the media for that
against me, and I have denied it.
Mr. Chari, you don't have to find fault with the media now. My question is this: Samujjal Bhattacharya. On one side of the screen, I put pictures of.
I have denied this. My party has denied it.
One second, Mr.
I have more faith in my party than the media which has reported it.
Mr. Chari, I'm making an important point.
It is my party's views against the media's words.
Mr. Chari, it's not necessary that your party's views will be better or more informed than the media's words. You and I can debate that on another time, but I think we must go back to the situation in Assam. My question is, I have pictures, Mr. Chari, on the screen of August 13, 2014. When a heart bled in what happened in Golaghat. Thankfully, nobody died, but Gaurav Gogoi, when the police wants to act, your Assam government is very strong. Those were the pictures you and I quarreled about. I would say I fought with you on it, and rightly so. Because you allowed your police to shoot point blank upon innocent people in Golaghat. There are pictures there of children, school children running away from that point blank firing of the police. Samujjal Bhattacharya, my question is to you. When the Assam government, when it wants, can act so tough, and this happened one day.
Arnab.
Gaurav, please let me complete. Let me complete, Gaurav. This happened one day after your father, the chief minister, visited Golaghat and was snubbed and gherowed by the local people out there. So after the chief minister, locals take him on. What do the locals face? Point blank firing by the police personnel. I'll show the pictures once again. Samujjal Bhattacharya. If Samujjal Bhattacharya, my question to you is this, that if the state government can be so tough with the innocent people of Assam.
Refer to me.
No, Mr. Gogoi, listen to me. My question, listen to my question in the context of the pictures which I'm putting on the screen.
You have referred
Can I put the pictures on the screen again, please? Mr. Gaurav Gogoi, I have two pictures on the screen today. It is not just important for the people of Assam, but for the people of this entire country to see what is happening in Assam today. And I'm asking everyone, we can go back to our debates. We can imagine that in this country, the only thing that is important is the ordinance of insurance reform. In no other country would a region be ignored in the way the Northeast has been ignored. On the right-hand side, innocents are being fired, Samujjal Bhattacharya in August in Golaghat. On the left-hand side, Kokrajhar is now burning. There is violence which has broken out. My question to you is, Samujjal Bhattacharya, why does the state government not show the same muscle when it comes to dealing with terrorist groups? When you need to deal with terrorist groups,
bodily harm the protesters. Inquiry. So police must be taken into task.
Mr. Gogoi,
people are protesting on the streets.
Mr. Gogoi, you want to be tough?
Now going back
Mr. Gogoi, you want to be tough? Be tough with the terrorists. Don't be tough with the people.
If Zarir referred to a question about whether the government of Assam is serious about combating insurgency. Now let me give you, this government has a proven track record of since 1998 when it was the AGP government from 1998
let's put Zarir Hussain
till
back.
now. There's been a 70% decline in violence, but still that still is absolutely no
Mr.
excuse.
Mr. Gogoi, you are reading from some papers in your hand.
More. But at the same time, I must say that the central government, the state government have been
No. Okay, Zarir will respond to you. Zarir, I give you 2 minutes, 1 minute to respond, please. Zarir can respond in a minute. I have to close this discussion quickly, but I am giving Zarir Hussain an opportunity to respond.
Out of 37 different
let us forget about the statistics. Let us forget about the statistics. Let us simply take 2014. How many massacres have taken place? What has the state government done to prevent such recurrence of violence? So these are the moot questions. Let us not go by statistics, because statistics, in the ground reality, it doesn't mean or say anything to these people that your pictures they're showing on the screen. This doesn't mean anything to them. For them, it's a shelter, it's a house. So nobody is going to build them their house. They don't know where the next meal is coming from. They don't know where they are going to sleep. They don't know where their children are today. So there are innumerable instances today. But let us simply avoid talking about from a piece of paper the statistics. Statistics are like, mere, let us keep it to some academics to like,
No, 1 second. No, this is not a college debate. No, 1 second. No, what? This is a serious issue.
Government done to stop such recurrences? Despite intelligence report, what has the state government done to prevent those killing?
Absolutely nothing.
That the people of Assam wants to know.
My question is to Samujjal Bhattacharya, please. Samujjal Bhattacharya. Samujjal Bhattacharya, can we...
Tomorrow, if Jammu and Kashmir, there's a terrorist incident.
Okay, I'll respond.
The Chief Minister of
Can I respond to you, Gaurav? You're going on and on about some childish figures you're putting out.
Zarir Hussain wants the Chief Minister of Jharkhand to resign.
No, watch.
Assam Chief Minister Tarun Gogoi had the information.
Of course he
had failed to prevent this violence. This is the fact. Assam Chief Minister Tarun Gogoi had the information. But he did nothing to prevent this violence. This is the fact. There is no existence of the Assam government here. And people are suffering. Innocent children, women, innocent people are killed. We are condemning the killing. But where is the government? Assam government, Tarun Gogoi had the information. But he did nothing to prevent this violence. This is the fact.
My question to you is, Samujjal Bhattacharya did... No, 1 second. Gaurav, please let me come in.
Did the Chief Minister not know that
No, 1 second.
Has the Chief Secretary gone on leave without telling the Chief Minister?
Today, Gaurav Gogoi...
needs to be dismissed.
Today, Gaurav Gogoi...
the Chief Minister that I am going on leave.
Today, Gaurav Gogoi says... Sheshadri Chari, why do you want Chief Ministers to resign? There'll be a few people killed in Kashmir. Will you ask the Chief Minister of Kashmir to resign? I mean, for God's sake, have some sense of shame and accountability, Gaurav. This is not the first time that the failure of the state government has been shown in protecting civilians in the area. There was a series of terrorist intelligence inputs, warning of attacks by the same Bodo terrorist groups against migrants in Kokrajhar earlier this year, and yet in May, if your memory serves you right, shortly before the elections, 32 to 35 people were killed in a series of attacks in the Kokrajhar district. You think there's no reason hundreds of people can die and a politician can come on the program and say, Zarir, so what if a few people die? This is the basic argument of Gaurav Gogoi. So what if a few people die, he says. No, 1 second. You take that back, Gaurav. Gaurav, you take that back. You take that back, Gaurav. Gaurav Gogoi, you take that back. Gaurav Gogoi, you take that back and apologize for what you said. Gaurav Gogoi, how can you say, how can you be so indifferent?
I did not say that. I am sorry, I did not say that.
How can you be so indifferent?
I did not say that.
How can you be so indifferent? How can you be so indifferent to say? A few people die. You expect the Chief Minister to resign?
I will withdraw my words. But
please withdraw your words.
I did not say that, so you must take back your...
That's an unfortunate reflection of how you think. Yes, please. Yes, please. Zarir, last word to you.
Can I ask you Arnab, can I just come in for just 20 seconds?
No, I think Gaurav, I cannot stand this attitude anymore.
What we need is a national counter-terrorism strategy.
Yeah, but don't say ever. Don't ever say. Don't ever say.
Jammu, Kashmir, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, West Bengal, the left-wing.
Gaurav, for God's sake, when you speak, think.
The center and the state governments to work together.
Don't give lectures. Please think of the children who were killed. Think of the children who were killed in their mother's arms.
Loss of lives. I want to
think of the child who was shot in his head. You're more interested in your father staying in the Chief Minister's chair. You're more interested in Tarun Gogoi remaining Chief Minister. Zarir Hussain.
How can we reduce the loss of lives in Jammu Kashmir?
Let there be some sense of moral responsibility among India's politicians for once.
Very interestingly, the Deputy Speaker of the Assam Assembly, who is a Congress legislator who belongs to that area, has made this kind of a very silly remark, saying that this kind of things happens in Pakistan, this kind of things happen in Bangladesh. We have put that soundbite in our bulletins. So this is the state of affairs in the Congress, The Deputy Speaker of the Assam Assembly, Bhimananda Tati, who is a Congress legislator of Sonitpur district, he made a silly kind of a remark, shameless kind of a remark, saying that this kind of incidents take place in Pakistan, this kind of takes place in Bangladesh. So this is the Congress's attitude as far as dealing this kind of massacres. This will give you an idea as to what is happening.
Well, we always all want a long-term solution, but the point is right now we demand a detailed investigation into the links between politicians and terrorist groups in the entire Northeast. Let there be a sustained investigation into the links between all terrorist groups and politicians in the Northeast. Let there be name and shame. Let there be name and shame. And let every political party promise that if
terrorists should be killed, that terrorists should be killed and not rewarded.
And 200 people cannot hold a state to ransom.
Well,
I hope it happens.
external links as well.
We will follow the story, and I thank you all very much for joining me on debate number 1 on the Newshour tonight.